Hello friends, this is Avinash Kumar. Welcome you all once again. In this video, we will learn what inheritance in Java is. And at the end, I'll share some interview questions. Those have been covered in this video. So let's start. We can define inheritance as it is an important pillar of object-oriented programming style. It is used to create a real-world relationship into the programming. To understand real-world relationship, let's take an example. Like my father is having a motorbike. Since I'm his son, so this bike is mine too. Now take an example. Suppose some of my friend ask me for the bike. So I can give that bike, which is of my father, to my friends because the bike is of my father, but as a gift, I own that bike too. Now moving to next example, like some of the things can be the private things of my father, like toothbrush or clothes. So these things will not be mine as gift. Similarly, in the programming, using inheritance, we can make some attributes of my parents can be private. It will not be given as gift to the child. This relationship is known as is a relationship. Sometimes it is also known as parent-child relationship. In programming, term parent class is also known as superclass and child class is known as subclass. Now let's talk about type of inheritance in Java. First one is single inheritance. When a single class extends to a single parent class is known as single inheritance. Second one is multi-level inheritance. When a child class extend another child class is known as multi-level inheritance. In example, class B itself is a child class, but class C extending class B. So this scenario will come under the multi-level inheritance. Third one is hierarchical inheritance. When a single parent class is having multiple child classes, that is known as hierarchical inheritance. In example, we can see that class A is having 3 child classes. Those are class B, class C and class D. Next to inheritance, those are multiple and hybrid inheritance. Both type of inheritance is not supported by the Java. In spite of that, I'm going to give you an example. What are these? Some multiple inheritance is known as when a single child class is having 2 or more parent classes, like class A and class B is having same child class, that is C. Hybrid inheritance is the combination of all type of inheritance. Since multiple inheritance is not being supported by the Java, that is why hybrid inheritance is also not being supported by the Java. But the question is why? Why multiple inheritance is not being supported by the Java? As per my understanding, this is not being supported by the Java programming language because to make the Java programming language as a simple programming language, during the development of multiple projects, we did not require that much complex architecture. And this inheritance is also be a cause of very popular problem, that is a diamond problem. Because of that, Java does not support this type of inheritance. In live demo, I'll show you what is diamond problem. Now we have understood what is inheritance and what are the type of inheritance. But now we need to understand what the use of inheritance is. In Java, inheritance can be used by many ways, like it is used to generalize the things. Let's take an example. Suppose we need to create a project in which we need to create multiple classes related to the animal like dog, cat, horse, elephant, etc. I believe that some properties can be added or removed for all animals. So better approach to go with this scenario, we should make a generalized class name as animal, and all common property and behavior should be the part of that common class. Now each class like dog, cat, horse and elephant should extend this animal class. Suppose in future any common attribute or behavior need to add or remove from all extended classes, we can use animal class since this is the parent of all classes. So that is a way how we can use of inheritance for generalization. Second will be the code reusability. Means a class is working fine and its functionality is tested and verified, and we want to change the property of class. Then we should create child of this existing class and override its property, or after add some functionality on top of existing class. The next one is using composition. We can manage our code easily. That will be discussed in detail on later video. Let's park it for a while. Now let's see live demo. So first we will see how we can extend any classes. So here I have made a parent class. This parent class is look like a similar classes what we have seen in a previous demo. So here is a class name, some method is over here, and we have made a child class which actually extends the parent class. So here the child class extends the parent class. So to extend any class we need to use extends keyword. Using extend keyword we can extend any existing class. So now let's try to execute this. In this example we see we don't have any method in it, but when I'm trying to create object of child class, and I'm trying to call method get motorbike. So here I'm able to call this method, and here is the output. How it can be possible? Because this class does not have any method. So how I'm able to call this method from this reference variable? This is happening because what happens, child does not have any attribute or behavior right now, for example, but the parent is having the motorbike behavior and it is a public. It means this method or this behavior will be gifted to the child. So that is why child is able to take the benefit of this method. But in other hand, when I'm trying to call child.get toothbrush behavior, this reference variable is not able to get this behavior as a gift because this is a private property of the parent class. So by this example I can understand that how a gift of parent can be transferred to a child, or how a gift of or attribute or behavior of a parent can be kept by his own. It should not if the parent doesn't want to gift that behavior to the child, then parent can do this by this way. In real world the same thing has happened. So here in programming we can do this by this way. Now moving to next example, the example of generalization. So in generalization, what we have discussed during the demonstration, that is like here we have animal class and dog class and a horse class. So for example, why we made this kind of animal, dog and horse class? Because eventually we are going to use this dog class or horse class. So why we made this animal class? So what actually in generalization is that the behavior and attribute, those are common in any two different classes. We should make a general class on top of that, and we should make a combination of behavior and attribute into that class. So what I did, like number of legs and name or any other attributes can also be taken care, like is healthy or is health checkup is done or not. So this kind of behavior is common for dog and horse too. So I kept that behavior into the animal. But in dog class, what I have done, and a horse class, what I have done, that their separate behavior, which actually cannot be common between dog and horse, is kept into the horse class. So in horse class, there is a behavior named as is ready for horse polo. So we cannot put this behavior into the dog class because horse polo is not played by dogs. So here we can understand the common behavior should be kept into the a class, and the private behavior should lies between under this own behavior of that particular object. So this is a separate behavior, so it's a part of dog because it's lied to dog only, but this separate behavior is lies to horse only, so it's kept into the horse class only. So how the common behavior can be passed down to horse and a dog? After extending this common behavior part of the class, that is the animal. So thus animal, actually what dog and horse has done, it extend the animal property. So if I'm going to create an object of dog and or horse, then we will be able to call the behavior of animal also. So here I'm going to call the behavior of animal is healthy. So this is a common behavior. It comes from animal. So how we, here is a good example how we can generalize a line of code into a separate class, and then we can extend that behavior. Suppose in future that in our project it is not required to check that the food is done, if the animal has done their food or completed their food or not, then we can also delete this particular line of code, and we can manage easily the use behavior of any project. So it is a helpful for a coder if they create a generalized code in a separate class and the different behavior into the own classes. Now moving to a diamond problem, what actually we were discussing, that I'll show you on our live demo. That is like that. As we know that if a child class doesn't have any behavior, then it looks for the same behavior from the parent class. What we have seen over here in this example, that this is healthy behavior was not present in dog class, so it went to animal and checked that. In animal it was over there, so it went to the animal and executed. So the point is, what if suppose that there is a class B which extend class A, and the same class B also extend class C, which is actually not being supported by Java, so it's giving error over here. So suppose a behavior like a does method. There is a method named like a does. Just I have created a behavior over here, or you can say that in easy word like method, and I have made this method into this class C also. And a developer called this a does method into the object of class B. So what will happen? The a does method is not present into the class B, so it will look for the same method to their parent. But in the both parent, this a does method is present. So which method will be executed? So this is kind of ambiguity for like the JVM, or we can say that at the time of execution it will be difficult for at which class the program control should go. So this kind of ambiguity is also causing for this kind of inheritance, multiple inheritance or a hybrid inheritance. So it creates a diamond issue, like a child going to the parent, two different parents having the same behavior. So that is also a reason that these two type of inheritance is not a part of Java. So that's it from my side in a live demo. And during this presentation we have covered some interview questions, and we are going to tell you that what are the interview questions we have covered. And those interview questions are: what is inheritance in Java, what are the types of inheritance, why inheritance is being used in Java, why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java, can a class extend more than one class, how to use inheritance. So these interview questions we have covered. So in next video we are going to cover overloading and overriding in Java, and we will also talk about binding a bit. So that's it from my side. Till then, thank you. Till then, thanks. Kindly like, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comment if you want to know any clarification. So please comment. Thanks once again.